When you think emergency preparedness, what's the first thing that runs through your mind? It's usually food, food storage, long-term food storage, but it is more than that. And we're going to get into a few extra credit points today for our emergency preparedness 52-week challenge. So stick with us. Welcome back, or just welcome if this is your first time visiting this channel. And this is our 52-week emergency preparedness challenge. So I'm going to add a few things today that's not on our monthly calendar. So if you are subscribing to my monthly newsletter, or if you want to, I can send that to you. But on the April, this is not on April's calendar. I'm adding a few things that have come across my plate this week that I just wanted to add. So be sure and subscribe, share, like this link. The few things that I wanted to add that have not been on the list is liquid skin. We've had a few, I've had grandchildren visiting. We've had a few incidents, cuts and nicks and dents and stuff. So I had to go borrow some new skin, which is a liquid bandage from my neighbor. Thank goodness she had some, but it is now, this is going to go back to her. But my daughter is a nurse, and we went to Walmart, and she said that the Walmart brand is same active ingredient as new skin, but it adds lidocaine, which helps with pain. So if you've got anybody that's had a gash, anywhere in the body that's bleeding, and you want to, stop it from bleeding and help the pain, this is what you would need. So this is going back to my neighbors. This is going in my emergency preparedness stuff. And then we needed some stuff to clean some wounds, and we found a saline wound wash. So very important in cleaning wounds. We've got one here that's being cleaned out daily, and so this has been a very handy thing to have, and I was very glad to be able to find that. The other thing that has popped up on my radar for this week is if you don't have a good tent for your family, please do what you can to get one. Whether it's you don't have to go fancy, you just need to go big enough for your family. Go to Bass Pro Shop, see what you can find, save money for a few weeks or a month if you need to save up to buy this tent. But I have really felt the urgency that if you don't have a tent, you need to get a tent. Okay, so on to this week's challenge. It says to do, under our food, to get 20 pounds of rice. Now, we've had rice before, so I went and got some more, and I've showed you these bags before. These work very well in storing sugar, flour, stuff like that, and this held 10 pounds of rice. Bought mine at Walmart, 10-pound bag for $6 and something. Very inexpensive thing to store in your food storage, and goes a long way and is very filling. Um, and these stack really nice on a shelf. They don't flop over, and you don't have to tip them up and everything. But I really like the bags, so I'm going to have the link to these bags in my description. I get them at Amazon. I don't know if you can. I've never looked anywhere else for them. So I'll have the link to that. Under the household items, again, I have tent. Make sure you have a tent. And it says to get 2 packs of multi sizes of your face mask. So I've got adult, and I've got a lot of children's masks in here because I have a lot of grandkids. So if another pandemic or gas leak or whatever should come our way that we feel like we need, better to be prepared than be caught without it like we were when the pandemic hit. Under our 72-hour survival kit, it says personal wipes. And you can probably get a smaller pack. This size is what I have in my family tub. And you can probably get a smaller pack that would fit in your backpack a little bit better. They say that they're flushable. I wouldn't flush them unless it's absolutely necessary. And plus, you might be in a place where they're not an area to flush. You're able to flush. But you always want something that will give you that clean feeling when you need that clean feeling. And if you're evacuating and sometimes then you're having to walk a lot, at the end of the day, you're going to be hot and sweaty, and you're going to be able to want to wash yourself down. So a nice pack of washable little personal wipes. It says, and a roll of toilet paper. And you can put your toilet paper in a Ziploc bag and put it in there. This is just wrapped in a wax paper. I'll probably put it in Ziploc bag before I put it back in my back. But you never want to be caught without a roll of toilet paper, ever. That is one of my fears sometime of being stranded and no toilet paper. So anyway, under our emergency money, we are adding $16 this week to each emergency bag. Next Monday is the last Monday in April, so I'll tell you what your total next week is supposed to be by the end of April. And pat yourself on the back if you are keeping up with this, because I forget sometimes that I didn't get money out when I was at Walmart or something, and I need to keep up with my cash, and I don't want to get behind, because then you've got to make up, and then that's even harder. So thanks for sticking with us on each week on that challenge. Under family prep, it has mentioned again to walk your neighborhood. 4 times it says to walk your neighborhood, make a map, and mark landmarks on your map. Whether it's the fifth house down the street or the house with the big azalea bush up front, put landmarks that your children know where these houses are. And find that spot near your house, but not in your yard, to go to as a meeting place if by chance in the middle of the night your smoke detectors, fire alarms go off, whatever, and you have to evacuate, and some people are going out the front door, some people are going out the back door or the side door. You need to have a meeting place somewhere on that map that's going to say, this is where we meet in an emergency if we have to evacuate the house. So it's never too much to go over that and over, especially if you have children in your home. We want to make sure they are comfortable and are safe. Last thing on our water, it says just add 1 more gallon this week per person in your family. So that might be just one of those 5 gallon jugs filled up, or just a couple of more gallons that you buy at the grocery store. Just make sure you're storing it on a pallet or on something, but not on the concrete. And that's it for this week. Thanks again for watching. I am so tickled to death with my subscribers. I'm up to a little over 400, but we're only 4 months into this emergency preparedness challenge, so I'm pretty happy with that. But please share this with your friends and get them to subscribe, and we'll do this journey together. I'm having fun. I hope you are too. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great week.